What is good, everybody? What is good? As I do at the beginning of all the streams, let me make sure my audio
What is
is
good,
situated.
everybody? What is good?
Let me get my audio situated. Everybody, definitely appreciate y'all for tapping in. I wanted to do a early live exclusive video about a couple topics. One in regard to the friends turned foes. Turned friends again. I'm hopefully assuming Lloyd Banks and Juelz Santana, as well as Wack 100 speaking on the game's new album, Drillmatic. And we've heard about a couple tracks that have actually had to been removed from the Drillmatic album, an album consisting of 30 records. Apparently, at one time or another, there were going to be 40 records on the Drillmatic album, you guys. I seriously can't believe it. I almost can't buy it that there were going to be that many album tracks. But today we're going to be talking about one that had to be removed based on some money problems. We're going to be talking about a record that had to be moved because they couldn't afford the feature tab. Now, you know, when you're dealing with a legendary artist like the game, you would kind of assume that they got the features off the love. They got the features off the strength. But that's not the way the music industry works anymore, you guys. That is not the way the industry works anymore, y'all. You know, the industry is it's a billion-dollar game. This industry is making multiple hundred millionaires, and they're not doing that by giving away everything for free. What is going on? What is going on? Hold on, let me get a little nerd about the chat real quick. Get a little nerd about the chat, trying to take the attention away when we know today we're doing a special live video for everybody. Got this special live video for everybody. Couple different topics, y'all. Couple different topics, man. I hope y'all enjoy the show today. I really do. I hope y'all enjoy the show. I want everybody to go ahead and hit that like button. You know what to do at the beginning of my videos. Let me know what city and state you're tapping in. Let me know what you're blazing on. I'm about to roll something up myself. I think I got some pancakes on deck. Yeah, I think I got some pancakes on deck, you guys. Shout out to Burner Cookies. You know what I'm saying? Pretty much my favorite brand of chronic. Pretty much my favorite brand of chronic, to be real with y'all. Let me get everything situated on this video, you guys. Definitely appreciate y'all for tuning in. I know we're doing it live, doing it early, but you know, sometimes I got to hit y'all at different times. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel so you always get the notifications of what we're doing, y'all. What's going on with your nut? What's going on with your bro? Woonsocket, Rhode Island. Definitely appreciate Woonsocket, Rhode Island for tapping in. Let me get a little something twisted up to begin this show. Let me get a little something twisted up to start this show. Like I said, I'm twisting up some pancakes. Let me know what y'all are smoking. Let me know what y'all are smoking. You heard? Definitely interested in hearing what everybody's smoking in here. We're about to roll something up to start this stream. Got some hot news for y'all today. The brothers, you know what I mean? Two guys that came together after there was mass speculation about beef with G-Unit and Dipset. You know what I mean? Everybody would always compare G-Unit and Dipset back in the day. They'd assume that there were issues, especially after 50 Cent and Cameron went back and forth. You know what I mean? The biggest independent label, the biggest major label, the two CEOs going back and forth over whose artist was bigger. One artist has On Fire, the other artist has Ballin'. You know what I mean? So there's merit. There's actually merit for the two to be arguing back and forth, y'all. We know about that. But let's get into it, man. Let's get into it because Wack 100 revealed some issues that the game is having. That's right, issues that the game is having in regards to clearing the NBA Youngboy feature. That's right, you guys. We're going to be talking about this. I found it interesting. Wack said that he didn't take Youngboy off of his album. He didn't take Youngboy off his album. Understand this. I think Mace understands this. Wack was actually having a conversation with Mace. A lot of y'all look at me as a manager. Yeah, that's what we all say about Wack 100. Manager this, manager that. Everybody looks at him and assumes he's the manager of the game. But in all honesty, you guys, he's playing a bigger role with the game at this point. In all honesty, he is playing a much bigger role with the game. He is literally the game's executive producer, you guys. That is what Wack 100 is. So no longer are we going to be talking about Wack 100 being his manager. He is legitimately his executive producer, and we all got to respect that. Wack said, y'all look at me as a manager, but when you scroll down to the bottom of those albums, pay attention to what you're reading. You see Numinati, which is, I guess, the game's new label, Numinati, and you see 100 Entertainment. That's right. It's not just a podcast, you guys. Wack 100's brand, 100 ENT, it's not just a podcast. Wack 100 is managing artists. He's executive producing artist albums. He said, that tells you, but I don't know if you people realize what 100 ENT is, but it tells you that. That's Game and Wack's album. Wack, I don't know if you should be taking credit for this album. I don't know that this is the album to be taking credit for. I don't know that this is the album that you want to have on your list of credits. They're saying Drillmatic is going to come out and move 19,000 units. I had a panel. One of the members of the panel actually predicted that Drillmatic would move 17,000 units. The prediction was very close, you guys. The prediction was very, very close. Definitely appreciate everybody tapping in. Hell yeah, gelato and white runts. That sounds like a good combo, bro. Gelato and white runts. I like it, man. I like it. Everybody go ahead, hit that like button. Hit that like button on the tap in. You heard? Hit that like button when you tap in. Wack explained, Game does the rapping. So he said, this is the Game in Wack's album. Wack explained, Game does the rapping. I do all the business. Sometimes when it comes down to a business decision, that I had to make an executive decision about Youngboy. And in Youngboy's defense, Youngboy charges dudes $300,000. $300,000 a verse. That's what it is. I can't front. He gave us a hell of a deal. But that situation would have cut in the marketing overall. So I had to make an executive decision whether I wanted to pay the tab he sent me, which was a respectable, great tab. It was love. I can't front. But that tab would have cut into that, and that. So Wack 100 is pretty much explaining to everybody, that Youngboy Never Broke Again was actually giving them a deal of a lifetime. Half off. And Wack 100 is going to go on to explain that this half off actually included all the rights to release the song, all the rights to actually do a music video, all the rights to basically make the game look like he's relevant again. You know what I'm saying? It would have made the game look like he was relevant all over again, but they didn't want to cough up that 150,000. What's going on? Is the game having money problems? Oh, we know there are problems. We know there are money problems. Everybody share this video one time. We know there's money problems. The album sold 19,000 first week. It's evident there's money problems. But Wack 100 going on the internet and explaining this shows us how much more problems there actually are when they can't afford a tab that they literally said would have paid for itself. A tab that they said would have literally put the game back into position where he could be recognized for something more than Wack 100's crony at this point in time. Because that's kind of how it's looking. The manager is more popular than the artist right now. That's right. 19,000 units, they're saying. First week for Drillmatic. I honestly can't believe it. I can't. I really can't believe it, you guys. 19,000 units. Everybody hit that like button. Share this video one time. So, he said, I had to make an executive decision about and in Youngboy's defense, Youngboy charges dudes 300,000 a verse. That's what it is. I can't front. He gave us a hell of a deal, but that situation would have cut into the marketing. So that's what Wack is looking at here. Now, Mace said, tell the people that 300 is a deal for the people listening that are like, what? 300,000? 300,000? That ain't no deal. Wack said, he gave me a deal for half of that, Mace. So he only sent me a bill for 150. 300 is his rate. Because what happens is Youngboy, he was going to do that with the video and everything. He is one of the highest streamed on YouTube. So you're going to get your money back in the long run. You're going to get your money back in the long run, but you don't take the deal. The people that spend 300,000 to work with Youngboy, they are quote unquote going to get their money back. So they're going to get their money back. So why wouldn't you take that bet for 150K? Listen to what else Wack 100 says here. Plus, your artist is tapping into that fan base that he may not have, meaning the new fan base. The new fan base that doesn't even know the game exists. The new fan base that when you say rapper the game, they think you're talking about NBA 2K. They think you're talking about sports. Oh, you want to turn the game on? Here, which game do you want to watch? These are the people, the new generation, the cats born in 1998, 99, 2000, all those people, 2005, that are listening to NBA Youngboy that have no idea, you guys. They have absolutely no idea who the game is. A rapper that came out in 2005 and fell into obscurity by 2010. And I hate to say it because I'm a major game supporter. But in reality, right after he left G-Unit, it wasn't but 2 to 3 years before he fell into obscurity. And I'm talking about the LAX album. I'm talking about having a single with Keisha Cole. Give me a single with Keisha Cole. I'm doing numbers. I'm never coming back down. The game has Keisha Cole, flops. LAX, 220-something thousand units first week. The album before that, 360,000 units first week. The album before that, 580,000 units first week. So let's be realistic when we're talking about someone having money problems. I think there's a reason that the game could not cash out NBA Youngboy. And I don't think it's because of Virgin. I don't think it's because of Virgin or whatever record label the game works with. I don't think it's true. Appreciate y'all. Appreciate y'all, man. I don't come on these live videos to be talking trash, y'all. I don't be coming on these live videos to cap, y'all. I come on these live videos when we need to discuss something realistic. When we need to discuss something that needs to be broken down. That's when I come on these live videos, you guys. When the truth is being misrepresented, or if the truth just needs to be spread. That's when I'm coming on these live videos, you guys. I'm on here to keep it a buck. I'm keeping it a $1.50 with y'all. Let's keep going. Everybody share this video. Hit that like button one time, you heard? Hit that like button one time, you heard? So Mace said, tell us why that 300,000 was a good deal. Because people are out there like, yo, man, 300,000. Why would you pay 300,000, man? That's taking up your whole budget. Well, first of all, when we heard about G-Unit getting budgets of 750,000, okay, that's not the whole budget. That's leaving you with just shy, 50,000 shy of $500,000 to continue. And we heard what Wack said. When you work with NBA Youngboy, your budget gets recouped. What did he say? Youngboy charges dudes 300,000 a verse. That's what it is. You know, he said, I can't front. He gave us a hell of a deal. I can't front. He gave us a hell of a deal. So, you know what I think about people who say he gave us a hell of a deal and then they don't take the deal? You know what I think about people like that? I think they're broke. I think they're broke. Because think about it. When you go to I went to the dispensary last week. Usually at the dispensary, they charge you about $400 for some cookies. $388, $430 They had a deal. Out last week, I was going to go cop 3 quarters for $1.92. I said to myself, yo, there's a deal going on here. One more quarter for the full O was $260. I grabbed the deal. When you can't grab the deal, it says to me you're broke. I'm sorry, but the game could have had a solidified star. And I'm nothing against Kanye West and Easy. You know what I mean? Nothing against Hit Boy. The game is working with some solidified cats. But all he had to do was cash out NBA Youngboy for $150,000. Oh, I get it. Hate it or love it didn't cost you shit. I get it. How We Do didn't cost you shit. Oh, I get it. 50 Cent recorded higher for you and it didn't cost you shit. That's what this all is about. That's what this is all about. I said it the other day. Oh, what is Game upset about? What is Game upset about? Is it no more freebies? Is the Game upset about no more freebies, y'all? I'm putting the poll up right now. It's half off. NBA Youngboy was trying to give the game half off. And because of the fact that the game didn't have to pay, he didn't have to pay 50 what his clearance rate was. Yeah, 50's clearance rate of $500,000. $250,000. And you get a rate of $150K from quite literally the hottest rapper in the game right now. Yeah, that's right. I'll give it to Youngboy. And you wonder why your album tanks and you don't have the video with NBA Youngboy out. Never mind waiting to see. I never heard that BS in my life. Oh, yo, I'm going to go get a 50 feature, 50 Cent, Mikey T with 50 Cent on the hook. Yo, Fifth, I'm going to pay you. I'm going to pay you, Fifth. Just wait for the first week sales to come in, baby. I'm going to be lit, baby. I'm going to be lit. No, that's not how this game works. You see, the game's first week sales, people would have been talking about it. They're, oh, shit, Game is doing 90K first week. Game is doing $1. Game is doing 120. Game is doing 150. If the Game had his single out, he had Easy out with Kanye West. Cheap-ass video, no disrespect to Yeezy. And then he had a song with NBA Youngboy, which he didn't want to take advantage of. He didn't want to take advantage of it. Shoot the video. Actually have a visual representation out of you working on a song with one of the hottest rappers in the game right now. What sense does that make? What sense does that make that you don't even have your strongest visual representation out? You guys, the game didn't put his strongest representation from the Drillmatic out, and they wonder why it didn't sell. They wonder why Drillmatic flopped, and they didn't even put their best foot forward. But you know what? The game hasn't been putting his best foot forward for a long time. For a long, long time, the game has not been putting his best foot forward. Do you guys remember the first single? Do you guys remember the first single off of The Doctor's Advocate? And I'm not talking about One Blood. I'm talking about the song where the game, who was called a stripper for so many years, came out with a song called Let Me Take You to the Strip Club. The game, who had been chastised for having a belly button ring, a tongue ring, and stripping, made a song where on the hook, he said, let me take you to the strip club. Let me take you to the strip club. You've got to be kidding me right now. You have absolutely got to be kidding me. You come out with a song when you have been clowned and chastised by the whole music industry. You come out with the song Strip Club. It was called Let's Ride, and it was the official single off The Doctor's Advocate. So go get your facts right before you come in here and you tell me Mikey T is doing this, Mikey T's doing that, Mikey T this, that, Mikey T. At least you got Mikey T's name in your mouth. At least you got Mikey T's name in your mouth is the thing. Because when I come on here, I don't come on here spitting blasphemy. Yep, exactly. Hop in the low rider. Yeah, okay, game. You just exposed your hand. You exposed your hand. How are you going to put out the Strip Club single? I had absolutely no interest in listening to that song, no matter how good the song could have been without that blasphemous hook. Because you know the game, he raps great. The game raps great. It's evident. We heard Higher. We heard 50's verse on Higher. 50's verse on Higher sucked when you're talking about all the type of weird lyrics 50 was saying in that. But you know what? I know what that was. 50 wasn't trying to make a hit song based on the verse. 50 Cent was making a hook for the game, and he was making some verses for the game to listen to. That is the true fact of it. I know 50 would have never released Higher with those lyrics. Second of all, game, you should have kept 50 on the Higher hook. Maybe you would have had a better single to put out than that fourth corny-ass single, Put You on the Game, produced by Timbaland. No disrespect to Timbo. No disrespect to anybody who liked Put You on the Game. I remember it came out. It seemed misplaced. It seemed absolutely misplaced. Put You on the Game. I know why they put that song out. It's because the game had started beefing with G-Unit at that point in time. That's why they put that song out. So let's get on to it here. So Wack is like, he gave me a deal for half that, Mace. Mace is like, explain the 300,000 to him. Can you guys hear my Mace voice right there? Explain it, man. Mace is like, tell the people 300 is a deal. For the people listening, like 300 is a deal? Wack is like, he gave me a deal for half of that, Mace. So he only sent me a bill for 150,000. 300,000 is his rate. Because what happens is Youngboy, he was trying to do that with the video and everything. He is one of the high. Share this video, y'all. Let them know Mikey T's in here. Mikey T, the movie star's in here. And everybody on here right now that follows me on the gram, you will get the follow back. Everybody on here that follows me on the gram will get the follow back. You heard? You heard? So Wack is like, he gave me a deal, referring to NBA Youngboy. For half of that, Mace was telling him to explain the 300K. So he only sent me a bill for 150,000. 300 is his rate, because what happens is Youngboy, he was going to do that with the video and everything. He is one of the highest streamed on YouTube. So you're going to get your money back in the long run. So you're going to get your money back in the long run, but you don't believe in your artist to do it. You don't want the artist, you don't want the game to take back over. You don't want the game. I hear all this shit about Wack paying money out of his own pocket. So how about you put the money up and then you keep the proceeds of it? How about you put the money up and then you put together a tour with Game and NBA Youngboy and you get the money back in return? I'm sure you could work that situation out with the Game. Sometimes you got to take a gamble on your own, you guys. Sometimes you have to take a gamble on your own. You know, I can understand it though. Why would Wack want to put $150,000 of his own money that the Game probably, or 6ix9ine probably helped him make? Why would he want to do that? Number one. Why would he want to do that? But I mean, shit. It's not like you're going to say, hey, Mikey T, stop bugging. Wack would rather do that for one of his younger artists. Okay, what about TrueCar? What about TrueCar? What about what he's doing with TrueCar right now? What about CEO Reek? You know what I'm saying? What about Blueface? I don't see Blueface with the NBA Youngboy feature. So let's be 100% crystal clear. It does not matter whether it was a young artist or an artist that is 15 years in the game, like the Game. And that's why so many people are getting critical over the Game's rap name. You know what I'm saying? Because it's so corny. You know what I mean? But you know what? I'll give it to the Game. Because in all honesty, when I first got involved in the music industry, Mikey T, the movie star, people didn't want to let that name in until I had every single rapper saying it. Until I had every single rapper saying it, you guys. From Rick Ross to French Montana to Max B to Lil Durk. I had every single rapper saying my name. Right here.
With Mikey T, the movie star, you are now you're rocking, man. 300.
That's right. And you guys, y'all got to know, I got a new exclusive interview coming with the Freestyle King himself. I got a new exclusive interview coming with the Freestyle
King what it do is the Freestyle King, Lil Flipper, a.k.a. Flip Mayweather. Shout out to Mikey T, the movie star. Cut.
So for everybody wondering,
They're gonna rock with Mikey T, the movie star. You are now you're rocking, man. 300.
300. You already know how we rocking. No other bloggers got that shit. Academics had to get famous. Shout out to Academics, but he knows what it is. Academics had to get famous to get that shit. You know what I'm saying? Let's just be real. So let's move on here. So Wack 100 said, Wack is like, so nothing against Youngboy. Youngboy didn't disrespect us, didn't violate us. He cut his rate in half because it was me and Game. But in all honesty, man, so what happens when you cut your budget in half? They cut their budget in half for the Game, and then the Game still didn't do it. Do you realize that means NBA Youngboy is never going to take you serious again? Whether you come to NBA Youngboy with a new artist, you come to NBA Youngboy with a new artist, you come to NBA Youngboy with the Game again, the NBA Youngboy is never going to take you serious again. You know what I mean? The fact that you went to NBA Youngboy and you said, hey, cut us a deal, break us down a deal, and then NBA Youngboy, out of the kindness of his heart, you know what I mean? Because I don't know why Youngboy would really give a shit about working with an artist 15 years past his prime. You know what I'm saying? I don't really understand that. But Youngboy did it, probably because of the fact that he was probably 6 or 7 years old when the documentary dropped, and his uncle liked it, or his manager liked it. You know what I'm saying? Or his older brother liked it, or some shit like that. you know, but it's not all peaches and cream as we all thought, you know, oh, Game is commanding these features for free. Nah, NBA Youngboy said, it's time to cash out. Give me 1 second. I got to grab my charger, fam. You already know we live. We live right now. We live right now. I'm waiting for my endorsement. Burner. Where we at? I'm the only blogger who reps cookies on the internet. I'm the only blogger that reps cookies on the internet. Let's go. I'm about to twist something up too, but we live streaming right now. We going over the news. You know, the big news that the Game is going to have to drop NBA Young from his op song. NBA Youngboy is going to be removed. They have a full song recorded without NBA Youngboy. So they're just going to replace that. You know, with the new way that albums are this day and age, you can literally go and add a song in at the last minute. You can literally go in and take a song out after it has already been released. The new style of recording is just so crazy. You know what I mean? I haven't been to any stores to actually look to see if there are physical copies of the Game's Drillmatic available, but I'd be interested to see what the problem would be at that point in time, because we've heard of albums actually getting called back. You know what I'm saying? I remember French Montana's second album, what was supposed to be his second album. I think it was the Mac and Cheese 4 album or something like that. What was it, you guys? Appreciate you, Eric. Yeah, I'd be knocking them interviews at the park. Don't worry about that, K-Dot, man. Just keep it real, brother. Don't worry about that shit. You know we all the way live right now. So, Wack is like, so nothing against Youngboy. Youngboy didn't disrespect us. He didn't violate us. He cut his rate in half because it was me and the Game. But when I looked at the overall budget, let's look at the budget. When I looked at the overall budget, it was going to cut into that and that and that. So I had to make an executive decision. So you make the executive decision to take the hottest rapper that gave the Game a verse off the album. Wow. What an executive decision to make when you already had previously said in this interview that Youngboy's songs, videos, they make their money back. They take your client into a whole nother realm of popularity. Huh? They take your client into a whole nother realm of popularity, and you made the executive decision. You made that executive decision to actually cut that track from the album. I don't care if you go $300,000 into the red. There's always going to be a way to make that money back. Your job is to get the Game relevant. Some people on the internet, they say the only time the Game is relevant is when he's talking about 50 Cent. Your job, Wack 100, your job is to change that narrative as a manager. But all you do is you drop the song that could have shook the internet up. You drop the song that could have made everybody say, hey, who gives a damn about this next post G-Unit album from the Game? You had the opportunity to do that, Wack. Hell, you've had 8 or 9 opportunities to do that. The last 2 albums, 2 albums ago, you guys went back to the documentary 2. You called it the documentary 2. And whose genius idea was it to make the documentary 2.5? So what's coming next? What's coming next with this flop of a Drillmatic, which people don't even understand the name? Is this a Fabio Foreign song? I'm sorry. Is this a Fabio Foreign song? People don't even get the name of the title, man. They don't even get the name of the title, to be real with you. But what's next? What do we got next after this album, you guys? The documentary 3? The documentary 3, right? Let's go back for the cash grab, y'all. Let's go back for that cash grab. Let me see what y'all are saying. Is the Game broke? He couldn't afford $150K for Youngboy. That's half off. 61% of the people in here say yes. They say yes. But you know what, man? I'm going to have to say no. I don't think the game is broke. Even though the game was just on an interview talking about, oh, I'm working towards buying a beach house, which is a little bit crazy to me. It's like, you're the game. How do you not have a beach house? You know what I'm saying? How do you not have the credit to get a beach house? How are you working towards the money to get a beach house? So that says something to me right there, you guys. It says something to me right there immediately. You think 50 Cent is talking about, I'm trying to buy a house? You think Snoop Dogg, you think Nas, you think any of these other guys are talking about, I'm trying to put together the money to buy a house? We don't hear any other rappers say some shit like that. Guys, we don't hear any other rappers say some shit like that. You know, so it's kind of scaring me when it comes to the game. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, yo, are you on the Island Boys, like, about to fall off type of vibe, bro? Are you running out of paper? You running out of paper, game? Because I know the next album, you guys, Documentary 3. I'd have to bet on it. Spin Barrel says, Dre knew that from early. That's why he threw him in G-Unit. Yup. If we go back to the beginning, the game was working on an album called NWA, the album where he was going to pay his respect to Dr. Dre. You know what, man? I'm sorry. As much as we all love Dr. Dre, we don't need an album with somebody deriding Dr. Dre without a helmet. Yeah, that's right, Game. Game was deriding Dr. Dre without a helmet. Let's chill out on that, bro. NWA tattoo on your chest over a rising sun. It's a little suspect as well. You know, it's a little suspect the way you position the NWA tattoo on your chest. The way you cover up tattoos in general is suspect. You know what I'm saying? Some people are saying in the chat, if I was Eminem, I wouldn't respond. So let me put that poll question up, you guys. I want to know, what does everybody in here think? Will Eminem respond to the game? Will he respond? Will it be with a Dr. Dre beat? I need everybody to share this video. I'm the livest blogger on YouTube. I need everybody in here to tell at least one friend about Mikey the movie star. So, Wack said, we already had a version of OPP, which is the song in question. The song that featured NBA Youngboy. We already had a version of OPP, and that is going back up. It's going to be all game. We had a version done. He jumped on it. The bill came. I would have been able to handle the bill, but eventually the album was going to be 40 songs deep. Another 10 songs. Another 10 songs was deep. 6 of those was samples. So let's take a look into that. He said, I would have been able to handle the bill, but eventually the album was going to be 40 songs. So Wack says he would have been able to handle the bill to actually get him on the record, to make sure it was done. But the album apparently was going to have 400 or 40, excuse me, there's about to be 400 people in here, 40 songs. And 10 of those songs were deep because 6 of those actually had the samples. We heard a lot of talk about the samples that the game was using that was really holding up the album. So Wack basically said he could have handled that. That's kind of crazy to me. So the same budget got ate up. Now, if we're talking about a budget for promotion, you know what I mean? I don't understand what budget they really needed for promotion when Wack 100 is literally on the internet every single day, talking shit, doing hundreds of thousands of views. Like right there, to me, that could have been all the promotion that you needed for the Drillmatic album. But unfortunately, we didn't get that. I think anybody can remember in here, Wack 100 has been a part of about 20, 30, 40, 50 videos. 50 or more videos in the last 6 months. Within the last 6 months, we all knew in the last 6 months that the game was coming out with an album called Drillmatic. We didn't have artwork. We didn't have a cover. We didn't have no single. We didn't have none of that. from Wack 100, who now is all of a sudden so concerned about the promotion. Why weren't you concerned about the promotion 6 months ago when you were doing the highest views of your career, when your audio was getting exposed? Why weren't you concerned about the album then when it was all eyes on Wack 100? It's changed now, you guys. The spectrum has changed. Wack 100 missed a lot of opportunity to actually promote the game. And that's all that I want to bring up. That's what I want to bring out. So these guys are talking about, oh, we got to use this $150,000. We got to reallocate the money. We don't want to give the money to NBA Youngboy. Are you kidding me right now? All that dumbass talking you've been doing for the last 6 months, you could have rolled that all up into a ball and just spent the budget on NBA Youngboy because you missed opportunity after opportunity after opportunity to actually tell the world that the Game's new album was coming. Yeah, you missed every opportunity that you had when you were dissing Young Buck, when you were dissing Hassan Campbell, when you were dissing CEO Reek, when you were dissing 50 Cent. Every opportunity was presented to you to say, Drillmatic is coming. The Game is working on Drillmatic. Here's the artwork for Drillmatic. But you never did none of that. Even after your name blew up, you said, oh, I've got a new documentary coming. Where's the artwork for Drillmatic? I saw that post on your Instagram page. It did like 100,000 views. Not a word about Drillmatic, you guys. Not one single word about Drillmatic. So it really makes me sick when I hear this talk about, I didn't want to spend 150,000 on the NBA Youngboy feature because we got to promote the album other ways. You've missed every other way to promote this album, and I just can't put it any other way. You missed every opportunity to promote this album. It's kind of crazy. I don't know why the Game doesn't see this. I don't know why the Game doesn't listen to you on Clubhouse and then see it go on YouTube and say, hey, Wack, that's cool and all. You know, I see what you're doing. You're getting your name out there, but there wasn't one mention of the album of mine that you're executive producing. Somebody please tell me I'm wrong. Somebody please tell me I'm wrong because I know I'm not. This situation is pretty crazy to me. You know, I know if I'm an executive producer, you guys. I'm Mikey T, the movie star, executive producer. When I have an album coming out, when I have a DVD coming out, when I have a documentary coming out, you're going to know when I'm on here talking about videos about Juelz Santana and talking about videos about the Game. You got to have a well-mannered way of marketing yourself. But the thing about it is, Wack 100 was thrust in this position so quickly, he doesn't really understand it. You know what I mean? Wack 100 was thrusted into this position right after what happened with Stitches. You know what I mean? Rest in peace, K-Slay. He went through a few years of working with K-Slay where he was under the radar. Nobody really knew. You know what I'm saying? But then this whole situation with Stitches popped up. What happened after he brawled with Stitches, you guys? What happened? Somebody tell me. Somebody tell me. What happened after Wack 100 dissed Stitches? We all know what happened after Wack 100 dissed Stitches. He tried to manage Stitches, you guys. He wanted to manage him. I don't know, but I find that to be the most whack shit I've ever heard. So you're telling me this guy was spitting on the Game's car. This dude was riding the Game for 6 months. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. And he's forgotten about now. And you're talking about you're going into the jail, the precinct with him, and you're talking about you want to manage him. Like, that is some of the most flaw shit I've ever heard out of a manager. If I was the Game, I would have dropped your ass right after then. How you going to be talking about you want to manage somebody who's on the internet dissing me, on the internet spitting on my car on his live video? Wack 100, literally the same night, if not the next day that him and Stitches got into it, he was asking about managing Stitches. How like crazy is that, man? How crazy is that? How do you go from defending the Game to then trying to manage Stitches? Yep, he thinks he's Suge Knight. He thinks he's Suge Knight. Let me know when you pull up. Well, let me know when you pull up to somebody's jail and pull up with like 3 million and give their mom a house. That's when I'll put you in the same category as Suge Knight. So Wack says, so some of the budget got ate up, which hindered me from being able to do other things. It was a business decision I had to make. No ill feelings. All love to Youngboy. Half they rate. Youngboy is worth every single bit of it, you guys. Youngboy is worth every single. So Youngboy's worth every single bit of his rate, and he gives you half of his rate. Guys, I think we all know Youngboy's never going to take another call from Wack 100. I think we all know NBA Youngboy will never take another call from Wack 100 after that shit. You embarrassed yourself, Wack. You embarrassed yourself doing business. You embarrassed yourself doing business and you revealed it to the world? You revealed it to the world, Wack? Do you understand that Lil Durk heard this? Do you understand that Kevin Gates heard this? Do you understand that every single popping artist out there? I've heard the stories of Akon charging people 100 grand to clear a hook. When those people didn't clear the hook from Akon, do you think Akon ever worked with them again? No. No, we didn't hear him. Who worked with Akon? Snoop Dogg, Eminem, people who don't complain about the clearance. And now we've got records from them that will last a lifetime. Do you know about records lasting a lifetime? No. You know about records coming out and selling 19K first week. That's what you know about. That's what you know about. Let's talk about making history. Let's talk about making an impact in the game. Oh, let's talk about hitting somebody up, asking them what their clearance price is, putting it on the album on the eve of release, getting the bill, and then just going against the whole thing. That's what I call bad business. So we got Wack 100 putting the game, one of our most historic artists, in these positions of bad business. Give me 1 second, you guys. My bad, y'all. My bad about that. Someone said the hood is not buying the game's records. Yeah, because the game didn't market himself to the hood. The game didn't market himself to every single avenue that he could. The women, the critical hip hop fans, he got them with Kanye. The hood, he missed them with NBA Youngboy. He missed them with NBA Youngboy because they didn't want to clear a record that his no longer manager, his executive producer. His executive producer, you guys. His executive producer didn't want to clear the record that would have put the game in front of everybody's face. You hear him talking about, oh, Yeezy, Kanye, the game, easy. It did 10 million views. 10 million views ain't it, y'all. 10 million views ain't it. So let me get here. Basically, Mace asked Wack if he thought that NBA Youngboy was bigger than Drake. I'm going to read his response to that real quick before we break off into this 50 Cent, Lloyd Banks, Juelz Santana story. Wack said, I think NBA Youngboy will be bigger than Drake at this time on YouTube. His presence on YouTube is there, but where he is lacking, this is by his own decision, his touring, both foreign and domestic, has yet to be proven. So until NBA... And NBA, for the record, he doesn't tour because he chooses not to. He doesn't do clubs because he chooses not to. When you've seen him packing out the arena, I can give the comparison at that time. But at this time, I got to give it to Drake. At this time, I got to give it to Drake. Because NBA Youngboy, you know, I'm not sure if apparently Wack is saying he chooses not to do clubs and stuff by his own choice. NBA Youngboy apparently was making somewhat like $20 million off of YouTube. He's been talking about getting a $60 million deal. He sells incredible amounts of music. Sincerely Cantrell, 136K first week. Less than 6 months later, he did another 70,000 first week. I believe he just moved over 100K first week in the last week or so. You know, NBA Youngboy does an incredible amount of units every 6 months. The guy can release an album every 6 months. I don't know what label wouldn't want to be a part of that, you know? So that's why he's commanding all of these major deals. As far as performing, I mean, that could have been because of the fact that he was on house arrest. It could be because of the fact that he fears for his own safety. You know what I'm saying? It could be any of these things. It could have been due to the shutdown. You know what I mean? Any of these could be the reasons as to that. NBA Youngboy is obviously doing right by his career, though, because he's caked up unimaginably. You know what I mean? He's caked up unimaginably between his own, you know, just putting out his own content, between selling his content to the labels. You know, so what can you say? He just beat his new case. He just beat the first half of that case that he got hemmed up over because they had to go catch him out in LA because a warrant surfaced. He beat that case, even though he ran like a mother. You know what I mean? He ran his ass off. You know what I'm saying? I would have probably did the same shit. You know what I mean? But I would have probably been sitting up for it. But NBA Youngboy was able to beat that case. NBA Youngboy has one more to knock out, which I think he will. I think he will knock it out, but they hemmed him up for quite a bit. He would be a much bigger artist. He would be dramatically bigger at this point if he had never got hemmed up with all those issues just for going to a music video shoot and trying to show love to his friends. I believe that had happened in New Orleans. You know what I mean? I believe that had happened in New Orleans where he just went out to a video just to show some love and make his homies look bigger. That's what Youngboy does when he shows up for a music video shoot. You know what I mean? He gives off that presence that is going to make other people in a better lucrative position, just to be real. So, Juelz Santana and Lloyd Banks. Let's get into it, man. Let's get into it. Beamer, Benz, or Bentley. You know, that came out, kind of shocked a few people. You know what I mean? Even though Banks and Dipset, you know what I mean? Even though Banks and Dipset, Banks and Juelz, they've got a similar group of people, you know what I mean, that rock with one another. You know, you've literally have had people that have rocked with G-Unit early on in their career who would go on to work with members of Dipset. You know what I mean? So the respect levels were there with G-Unit and Dipset. I think it was more so the fans. I think it was more so the comparison of the fans back in the day. You know what I'm saying? I think it was more so the fans actually comparing the two New York entities that made such powerful music. You know what I mean? That's what I think it really all draws back to. You know, you compared 50 and Cam. You compared, you know, Banks and Jim, or, you know what I'm saying, Buck and Juelz, Yayo and Juelz, Yayo and Freaky, however you wanted to look at it. You know what I'm saying? Whether you're going to do a 4-on-4 match or, you know, a lot of the times now people have compared Banks to Juelz because of the fact that they have a history, you know, more so than Banks and Jim. Although there's been Verzuz battles talked about for the both of them. So Juelz finally explained that his beef with Lloyd Banks was started by none other than the G-Unit General himself. That's right, you guys. 50 Cent and that issue at Summer Jam with Slowbucks. Slowbucks got washed up by a bunch of people he thought were his homies. People that he was around from the very beginning. Not the very, very beginning, but he was around Banks for quite some time. He even introduced Banks to Juelz, two guys that would go on to sell quite a bit together. Two guys that would go on to make money together. Slowbucks was that bridge. He bridged the gap. Probably the gap that made $1 million. You know what I mean? So when you're in that type of position, you know, you're kind of thinking you're good. You know what I mean? Sha Money, excuse me, Slow Bucks kind of thought he was good. He's like, you know what, man? I done come up. I came up from being uh one of the people in the group. You know what I mean? One of the entourage members. I came up from an entourage member to now having my clothing, which I honestly thought 50 should have capitalized Slow Bucks clothing. Now I've actually put together artists that have gone on to put themselves in a lucrative situation. So Slow Bucks was really on the up and up. A lot of people we haven't seen go on to make moves and investments like this. They just get caught up in the hood. They get caught up and nobody remembers them. Slow Bucks was making some great gains, some great attempts to actually captivate the people around the world, whether it was having his clothing for sale in stores or whether it was linking members of these factions together who we had never seen link up before in the past. You know, Slow Bucks served a purpose in the music industry. It's just that 50 Cent never truly gave him the opportunity that he really deserved. Everybody wants to talk about clothing this, clothing that, G-Unit shoes. Everybody knows the G-Unit clothing was type corny. You know what I'm saying? If G-Unit would have put on Slow Bucks clothing, that would have been lit. That would have been something that was still here today. Am I the only one that sees it? I don't think so. You know what I mean? But 50 not putting a lot of these guys on, it's why they had to leave. Trav, you know what I'm saying? Even shit. Look at Maserati Fox, rest in peace. Maserati Fox was branching off and making connections with Gucci Man. You know what I'm saying? Let's be real here, you guys. A lot of the guys 50 didn't sign. You know, a lot of the dudes 50 Cent did not sign, y'all. And that was his bad. That was his mistake. Other people that he did sign, hey, kid, just don't even pack any clothes. I'm going to buy you all new clothes when you get here. Bad decision, Fifth. Hot Rod wasn't Young Thug. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm just keeping it a buck here. 50 hasn't made the best choices when it comes to artist signings. You know? So basically, Juelz was telling Nori on Drink Champs, he's like, people would want to see me go with somebody like a Lloyd Banks. That's not me saying that. Banks is my brother. Me and him had an up and down. It's a little iffy. So Lloyd Banks and Juelz Santana, I don't think anybody really knew they had any more ups and downs after they finally came together. You know what I mean? Juelz got locked up, actually. You know what I mean? So I don't think really anybody was actually thinking that. Juelz started having problems with the law. You know what I mean? Now, beforehand, we had heard all the rumors. That's why Nori was like, do you mean before Beamer, Benz, or Bentley? You know, Nori's like, after Beamer, Benz, or Bentley? Since you've been off papers, you off papers. Yeah, you know, when people get off papers, man, they be acting like the way they want to act. You know, I'm glad to see Juelz doing the things that he wants to do. You know what I mean? I'm glad to see these guys who get off papers and do the things like China Mac traveling all over. Tony Yayo got off papers. You know what I mean? Boosie eventually got off papers and started smoking those big old blunts again. You know what I mean? I like seeing these rappers get off papers. One, they get to promote their music to the fullest extent. They get to travel. I see Benny the Butcher in Switzerland. You know what I mean? Benny the Butcher's music has taken him to Switzerland, you guys, where he said he ran into Swizz Beats. Kind of crazy on the flight to Switzerland, I guess. So, as far as the verses, let me address the verses. Juelz versus Banks would be great. Jim Jones versus Banks would be great. There was a lot of talk about Juelz versus Memphis Bleek. Juelz didn't really seem to take much interest in that. I think Juelz would be more interested in going against somebody that actually, you know, was around his. I'm not saying Bleek wasn't in his same time frame. You know what I mean? Because Bleek put out a bunch of albums. You know, Bleek actually put out more albums than Juelz. Bleek put out, well, now the same amount of albums as Banks. You know what I mean? Banks has been on his shit. Banks is promising us an album a year for the next 5 years, I believe. Something like that he was saying. And I'm looking forward to seeing new Banks albums every year. That's how I think it should have been in the first place. An album from Lloyd Banks every single year. Yeah, salute to everybody tapping in. Share this video. Let's go. Let's get 400 people in here, you guys. Let's go. Share this video. So Nori asked, after Beamer, Benz, or Bentley? Juelz is like, my first intentions was to say my brother, referring to Lloyd Banks. That's how I kind of look at Banks, like he's my brother. Me and Banks had got cool through my man Slow from Queens. Nori's like, shout out to Slow Bucks. Shout out to Slow Bucks, although he never did give me an interview. You know, people always used to be on that stupid ass politics shit. Oh, Mikey T does interviews with Bang'em Smurf, so we can't do an interview with Mikey T. Well, Slow Bucks, no disrespect, bro, but just because some of the guys from New York didn't give me interviews, it doesn't mean I stopped working. I went out and got interviews like this.
Lil Duck on rock with Mikey T, the movie star. You already know you're rocking, man. 300. Lil Duck on rock with Mikey T, the movie star. You already know you're rocking, man. 300.
So for any of the dudes out there who didn't want to give me an interview because I did shit with Bang'em Smurf, I mean, that kind of sucks for you, because I went out, was working with Lil Wayne, I was working with Rick Ross, I was working with Lil Durk, French Montana. You know what I'm saying? I interviewed literally everybody that I wanted to interview. You know what I mean? For some people to be like, oh, I don't want to link with Mikey T, the movie star, because he's linked with Bang'em Smurf. That's just some kind of childish shit. That's some amateur shit. And it really shows that people who act like that, their business doesn't go that far. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to send this out as a message right now to anybody that wants to really try to put shade on me for people that I've interviewed in the past. This is what I do. I do interviews. I go to the artists. I ask them the questions, no matter what it's about, and I bring the answers to all of y'all. So I really don't want to be questioned for who I interview. You know what I'm saying? When I'm on a major radio station or when I work for a major platform, nobody's going to be able to question me then. So right now, when I'm on my independent grind, I would really appreciate it if you guys just let me do the work that I want to do. You know what I'm saying? And I can interview or talk about whatever subjects that I want to talk about. Hell yeah, man. And nobody's going to stop me from that, man. The empire is only growing. I need everybody that's watching this. If you're not subscribed, subscribe right now. If you're not following me on social media, I suggest you follow me right now. Tap in with the blogger that's actually going to tap back in with you. There's a lot of these guys out there right now. They're a little bit too far gone. I'm right here, y'all. So follow Mikey T, the movie star. So let's get back into it. Juelz is like, big shout out to Slow Bucks. Big shout out to Slow Bucks. We formed a real good relationship. An incident had taken place at Summer Jam. Everyone knows the incident. That's right. Everybody does know the incident. Everybody knows the incident that took place at Summer Jam. I did feel a way personally because I looked at him like I didn't understand Banks' position at that time. Nori's like, we talking about the Slow Bucks incident. And I think everybody knows about the Slow Bucks incident where he jumped on 50's stage. And this was after he had taken pictures with, I believe, 50 Cent's son. And 50 Cent took offense to that. 50 took offense to him taking pictures with his son. And it was problems. You know, Slow kind of stepped up onto the stage like it was going to be sweet. Everybody was there. Lloyd Banks. Everybody is there. Lloyd Banks said he didn't know it was Slow. Lloyd Banks told Juelz Santana that he didn't know it was Slow Bucks, you guys. Can you believe that shit? Can you believe it? You didn't know that was Slow? Slow is the guy who literally introduced us. Slow put me with you. Slow was running around with you before you were famous. And you don't recognize Slow all of a sudden? Why couldn't you just keep it real? Why couldn't Banks just keep it real? Yo, that's 50's call. 50's the leader of the group. Dude took a picture with 50's son. How about you keep it real with your collaborator? You know, you and I are the one that made Beamer, Benz, or Bentley. Did Slow produce the song? Hold on. Did we make Beamer, Benz, or Bentley on the first day we met through Slow Bucks? Or did we make Beamer, Benz, or Bentley a few months later when I texted you? Like, let the real story out there, man. You're on Drink Champs. You're on Drink Champs. When you're on Drink Champs, when you're on a podcast, you're supposed to be telling your truth. You're not supposed to be telling half truths. You're not supposed to be telling half truths. We want the whole story. Otherwise, what is the point of going on a podcast in the first place? This is one of my biggest issues with certain podcasts when people can't tell their truth. And you know, Juelz doesn't want to go all the way off on Banks. Juelz realizes that. Banks and him are the one who made Beamer, Benz, or Bentley. Banks and him are the one that would make it in the future. They are the ones who would reach out to Banks to jump on the alleged new album with Juelz and Jimmy. It doesn't need to be slow. Oh, yo, get the hell out of here then, man. Don't be trying to take over my chat. We got 400 people in here live, bro. Don't be trying to take over my shit. Everybody's in here for that raw talk, man. And you only get that raw, uncut talk, that unfiltered, that uncensored, that uncut talk, because these other dudes don't really be knowing the facts of it. Aunt Lean says, I ain't calming down for shit. This is my personality on here, Aunt. Let them other dudes do what they want. But this is Mikey T unhinged. He said, do you think Banks was going to go against 50 for Slow or Juelz? Who made him a star and millions? Great point from Ant right there. Great point from Ant. It's like Juelz should have realized that as well. Was Slow Bucks clothing presented by G-Unit? No, it wasn't. It wasn't. It should have been, but it wasn't. So what is the relationship really with Slow Bucks and 50 Cent? The relationship is with Lloyd Banks and 50 Cent. You see, 50 even said on the Breakfast Club that he met Lloyd Banks by way of Tony Yayo. So he met Slow Bucks through way of Lloyd Banks. You met, it's like being signed to somebody that's signed to somebody else. You're signed to an artist that's signed to another artist. So you met me through an artist that I actually met through somebody else. How strong can the affiliation really be? How strong can that affiliation really be? Now, I just don't get why Juelz Santana doesn't realize that there's a hierarchy. There's a hierarchy to this shit. Juelz, you see it right in front of your face. Slow Bucks started rocking with you afterwards. Trav went from rocking with G-Unit to rocking with Dipset to rocking with Dream Chasers. It's written right in front of your face. These guys went from a ship where they didn't see the opportunity, so they went to another one. How do you think the captain of the other ship is going to feel when he sees all those people? Oh, they went to Dipset. They made an opportunity for himself. Oh, but now they're back over here. What opportunity did they really make over there? But that's not what it was with Slow. That's not what it was with Slow, you guys. It was the fact that Slow took a picture with 50's son. Shout out to academics. Q started World Star. Q was on the tour bus with the G-Unit guys, seeing everything they did, realizing the life of a hip-hop artist should be depicted. And where was the life of the hip-hop artist going to be depicted? How about World Star Hip Hop? Yep, Q made the brand right off of that. So let's get right back into it here. So she's like the Slow Bucks incident that happened at anybody else, as far as the other people, I kind of knew. Because I knew it was things stemming on things and things brewing or whatever. So that's whatever. They from Queens. They got their issues. So Juelz realized they have their issues. So I don't get why he was going to take issue with Lloyd Banks over it. You know what I mean? You done seen some of the things play out. Maybe it didn't mean as much to Juelz as it meant to 50, Slow Bucks taking that picture. Maybe that didn't mean as, you know what I'm saying? But that's not your kid. You know what I mean? 50 reacts a different way. You know, we know how these celebrities are. Sometimes the celebrities don't even want their children exposed to the world. You know what I'm saying? They don't want no pictures of their kids on the internet like that. Sometimes they don't want them with whatever these guys are attached to. You know, so, and we all saw what happened with Trav. Like, come on, man. Come on. We all saw what happened with Trav when Meek Mill brought him on the stage. 50 did not hesitate to put his hand in Trav's face to tell Meek, get him off the stage. So 50's performing with G-Unit, and he knows one of the other kids that was down with G-Unit is right behind him. What else do you expect it to be? It's get off the stage. This is 50's place of business. 50 doesn't want you in his office. So Juelz is like, me and Banks had a relationship, and I had met Banks through Slow. That's why Juelz is taking all this issue with it, you guys. I just didn't understand how you would stand there. Yeah, it's a little bit different. It's a little, I can tell, you guys. You know, I can tell it's a little bit different when Juelz Santana is dealing with Cameron and Jim compared to Lloyd Banks dealing with 50 Cent. I think we can all see it's different. Let's take the Verzuz stage, for example. If Juelz, Jim, and Cameron were all standing there, nothing is going to happen to any of their entourage members because all of them are kind of like the three-headed monster. You know what I mean? That's how we kind of looked at Dipset, like 50, Kurt, 50, M, and Dre. They call them the three-headed monster. Dipset's three-headed monster was Cam, Jim, and Juelz. You know what I mean? A lot of people were thinking Jim was slacking at first until he came in and blew the hell up. So that's their three-headed monster, right? Where they all make executive decisions. Banks, Yayo, Buck, they weren't all on that same level with 50. If you go against 50, you're done. You're done. If Juelz and Jim spoke up against Cam, it wasn't the same thing. You ain't going to touch Juelz's man. You ain't going to touch Jimmy's man. But if 50 wants to put hands on Banks's homie, if 50 wants to put hands on Yayo's homie, this is just how we've been conditioned. And this is actually how it works in the streets, too. They ain't saying nothing. They ain't saying nothing. 50's letting them do whatever the hell they're letting 50 do whatever the hell they want. And that's an issue with me. And that was obviously an issue with Juelz Santana as well. You ain't gonna stand up for the dude who put us together. Hold on. You ain't even gonna stand up. You ain't even gonna stand up for your own man. Your man's getting treated like a rag doll on your stage. Correction, not Lloyd Banks' stage. That was not Lloyd Banks' stage. That was not Lloyd Banks' set. You've got to get clarification on these things. Banks, Yayo, Buck, Kid, all of these guys were there with representation of 50. So yeah, there wasn't going to be nothing happen there. So Juelz is like, me and Banks had a relationship, and I had met Banks through Slow. So I just didn't understand how you would stand there. There was a lot of inside things I knew about them and things that were said to me from both parties. Yeah, I could picture it. I could picture it. Yo, make sure you're not around Slow Bucks when you come around 50. Yo, I'm not sure if I should be around. Should I really come to the video shoot? All that type of shit, man. But if Juelz is there with Slow, it's going to be 100% good. If Slow is there with Banks and 50 ain't there, it's going to be good. You know what I mean? probably at this point in time, all that shit's probably water under the bridge. You know what I mean? At this point in time, all that shit is probably water under the bridge, you guys. You know, but at that point in time, it was heated. That shit was heated at that point in time. Slow Bucks did something he shouldn't have done. A couple things. Maybe one affiliated with Trav. That could have been one of the things. So listen, let me take a look at the poll because the poll is on something totally different. Will Eminem respond to the game? And literally, you guys, 72% of y'all have said that he will not. Damn, everybody is not rocking. Everybody is not rocking with the game right now on this thing. They're basically saying that Eminem will not respond. I disagree, you guys. I got to say, I think Eminem will respond to the beef. Eminem has responded to Nick Cannon. Eminem has responded to Machine Gun Kelly. You know what I mean? So I think he will be responding to the game. You never heard of Slow Bucks? Come on, bro. Slow Bucks clothing was cool as hell. So, Juelz said there was a lot of inside things. If you know there's a lot of inside things, why are you so tight? Why are you so tight about it? If you know why are you letting it affect your relationship with Lloyd Banks? If you know there's a lot, why are you letting 50 Cent, what he does, spark up issues with you and Banks? Like, first of all, Slow Buck should have known not to be there. You know what I mean? Slow should have knew not to be there, but sometimes you just can't help yourself. You know what I mean? Sometimes you got to be in front of all the glitz and the glamour. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you got to be in front of that just to see what's going to happen. You know, Juelz said there was a lot of inside things I knew about. I knew about them things that were said to me from both parties. You know what I'm saying? That's they thing. But for that to happen, and I'm looking like, damn. Nobody's like, Queen's drama is real. I've learned that it's weird. Juelz said, so you know me and Banks spoke. Oh, shit, you guys. So you know me and Banks spoke. So Banks and Juelz spoke. So he actually called him. Shout out to DC. And also, let me give a big shout out to the homie, Aunt Glizzy. Shout out to Aunt Glizzy. Come get on the channel, G's. Come get on the channel, Aunt Glizzy. So Juelz revealed it. He spoke with Lloyd Banks. Geez, that had to be an awkward conversation. You guys. So let's see. He said, I called him after that. You know what I mean? I called Banks. That's crazy. That's all I really said. Don't you just hate that? No disrespect to Juelz. That's my guy right there. Don't you just hate that when your friend called you? You know what I mean? That's crazy. Nah, you don't hate that. You just be starting to crack up when your friend calls you like that. I always get those calls. Yo, that's crazy. That's so hilarious when you get that call. So Juelz hits him up. That's crazy. That's all I really said. He kind of spoke like I didn't know that was slow. So Banks said he didn't know it was slow. I didn't know that was slow or whatever. And that was that. But I still look at Banks like I got some sort of love for Banks. What? Come on, Juelz. You don't let that affect your relationship with Banks. These dudes, they get into issues all the time, man. You can't let issues that a couple of friends are having affect the way you feel about one of your collaborators. It just doesn't make sense. It's just hindering to your own career. You know what I mean? When you're like, whatever, that was that, but I still look at Banks like I got some sort of love for Banks. What do you mean some sort of love? You two have gone on to make some of the greatest collaborations, music that people will never forget. Just because Slowbucks gets into an issue with 50 Cent, it's not the end. It shouldn't be the end of the world for your relationship with Lloyd Banks. Like, what is that? What type of crap is that? I don't agree with that whatsoever. So he says, and hopefully we have our conversation in the near future. Hopefully we have our conversation in the near future. Bro, and then he goes on to say, and make another Beamer, Benz, or Bentley. If you're going to have a conversation with Banks in the near future, it should only be about having another Beamer, Benz, or Bentley. You know what I mean? I don't think you guys really have to have another conversation about why Slowbucks got washed up. Like, come on, that really doesn't have anything to do with you, even though he introduced y'all. You know what I'm saying? Slowbucks shouldn't have been on that stage, and it's as simple as that. You know what I mean? He shouldn't have been on that stage, just like Max B shouldn't have been shopping in Harlem that day when the new Dipset project was coming out. Max B shouldn't have been shopping for leather jackets that day. And Max B is my guy. Everybody hit that like button right now. So Juelz said, and we make another Beamer, Benz, or Bentley. Something. The city is always asking for that. And Nori's like, classic record. Classic record. Yeah, he's right. The people are always asking for more Juelz Santana and Lloyd Banks. That's truth. Ever since they recorded together, the people have wanted more. You know what I mean? We all know that Juelz has been highly regarded when it comes to his feature game. You know what I mean? Breaking into the scene with Chris Brown. You know what I mean? Everything he did with Cam. To the project, the collaboration album, I Can't Feel My Face. You know what I mean? The collaboration album with Lil Wayne that never came to be, you guys. So we all know that the features that Juelz Santana has always been pretty high in regard. So when he eventually worked with Lloyd Banks, it was kind of crazy. It was like, yo, finally. You know what I mean? Finally, these two groups are coming together. And honestly, it was the best pairing that we could have expected. You know what I mean? I think Lloyd Banks and Juelz Santana had the best pairing of what G-Unit would have been. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, did Jim Jones ever jump on any 50 Cent shit, you guys? Did he ever jump on any 50 Cent shit? I can't exactly remember. Let me see. Force quit the Safari. Force quit the Safari. I'm going to bring it back up. Let me see if it works. All right, cool. Cool with Gucci. I want to do some open questions, y'all. Let me take a look at this poll. I'm going to give y'all 2 more minutes to vote in the poll. Y'all can vote in the poll right now. Do you think Eminem will respond to the game? Everybody vote in the poll right now. I'm going to give y'all 2 more minutes on the poll. I want to get everybody's thoughts on that, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Will Eminem respond to the Black Slim Shady? 10 minutes. 10 and a half minutes. Probably about 9.5 minutes because they have a couple talking parts of that. Everybody go check out my new interviews with Kid, Spider Loke. That's right. Got a new interview dropping with Little Flip soon. I got a lot of new work coming for y'all. Everybody follow me on social media. You heard? Everybody follow me on social media right now. Let me pin that up actually so everybody can follow me. Definitely had to come on here today for this live video. Talk to y'all. I want to come on here and talk to y'all about what's been going on. The Game's new album, Drillmatic. Major flop. Major flop because they didn't take the right approach with it. They want to talk about marketing dollars. They want to talk about marketing dollars for the Game's album. Oh, we needed to cut the NBA Youngboy feature because he didn't want to give it to us for free. You know what I mean? We had to cut the NBA Youngboy feature because he didn't want to give it to us for free. What? What, dude? This ain't G-Unit 2004, bro. You ain't getting on Lloyd Banks' album for free. You ain't getting the Young Bucks album for free. Jim Jones ain't putting you on Certified Gangster Remix because it's the cool thing to do. This is 2022, man. The time has changed. The tables have flipped. You know, Shout out to the Game, though. You already know I was in the store. I bought the Game's first 2 albums. And I'm not talking about The Doctor's Advocate. I'm talking about when Untold Story came out right alongside the documentary. In the Game, any big artist, not just big artists, any artist with a true story to tell is always welcome on my channel to come and talk to me. You know what I'm saying? I open my channel up to all the artists, all the producers, directors, you know what I'm saying? Actors, athletes. I open my channel up to everybody to come and have a discussion. You know, I don't like to do all that negative shit on here. You know what I'm saying? I don't ever try to put 2 people up on here that will be arguing back and forth. If we're going to do it like that, we're going to do both of their perspectives. But I'm not going to put 2 people up here like we're having some sort of a versus battle. Maybe in the future on another platform, if you know what I mean, somebody comes and hires me to do some shit like that. But at this point in time, I am just covering hip hop news, you know what I mean? And I'm trying to do it in a very respectful manner. All right, so let me take a look at this poll, y'all. I'm about to end this poll in 30 seconds. It looks like, will Eminem respond to the Game? Will Eminem respond to the Game? 72% say no. I disagree, guys. I'm sorry. I got to disagree with y'all. I don't think Eminem will let this go. I think the Game said a few too many things in there that Eminem is going to have to respond. You know what I mean? West Philly, shout out to West Philly. Everybody throw your cities up right now. What city are you in? Throw your cities up right now, you guys. I'm going to do some open questions as well. Anybody in here? If anybody in here has anything they want to talk about, hit the open question right now. I will answer anybody's question for the remainder of the podcast. What you're watching right now, this is the Mikey T, the Movie Star podcast. You heard? You are watching the Mikey T, the Movie Star podcast right now, you guys. If you're wondering what you're watching. If you're wondering what you've been watching the Mikey T, the Movie Star podcast. You heard? Gavin says Eminem doesn't need to respond, to be honest. Well, I mean, it's kind of crazy how M was right there in the studio with Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg the very next day. And, you know, I highly doubt Eminem would respond on a Dre beat, but who knows? Maybe Dr. Dre was feeling compelled and he was like, yo, you know what I mean? Let's do it. He asked for it. I haven't done a beat diss. I haven't done a beat diss for a diss in a while. Let's do it. Canarsie, Brooklyn, what's up? What's up, Canarsie, Brooklyn? Mikey T, the Movie Star, appreciate you for tuning in tonight. Nick, my guy, been tapping in for a minute now. I definitely appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you, Nick. Salute to you, bro. What you do, G's? He said he responded to MGK. Doja is getting that smoke. He responded to MGK. So Doja's getting the smoke. Vote in the poll right now. I'm about to end this shit in like a second. I'm about to end the poll in a second, you guys. Looks like we still got some votes coming in. 71% strong say no. I'm doing some open questions right now as well. If you guys want to do some open questions. What up, North Carolina? We got London in the house tonight. Much love to everybody tapping in from London. Much love to everybody tapping in from Buffalo. We got Montreal. We got Montreal, Canada in here. We got Buffalo up in here. Los Angeles, California's in here. Hell yeah. You know, I appreciate LA being in here heavy. LA's in here heavy right now. Oh, shit. Aunt Will says M would be putting M's in Wack in Game's pocket for responding to trash. Interesting. Gavin said, I would be surprised if M responds, to be honest. UK, what's up? 1911 beats. All right, we're putting up a new poll. We're putting up a new poll. Better Eminem diss track. We're about to put it up right now. All right, I want everybody to vote on this poll right now. Everybody vote on this poll right now, y'all. I want to know, was it Rap Devil by Machine Gun Kelly or Black Slim Shady by The Game? Which one was better? All right, y'all, I'm about to check this poll out. I want to see what everyone got to say here. I want to see what everybody has to say here. Wow. People are really rocking with Rap Devil by Machine Gun Kelly. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, Sayo. Oh, yeah, she even had Gucci Man jump on that. Why you so obsessed with me, Joint? Yeah. I think I was about to put that up there, but I didn't have enough room in the polling last week, actually. This is Los Angeles, Mikey. This is Los Angeles. Canarsie, what up? Fresno, California, what's up? Y'all make sure you're tuned in every time I go live, y'all. When you see me on here going live, make sure y'all tune in. Make sure y'all tune in. We got Seattle up in here. Seattle's up in here. Oh, my man says MGK had an actual diss. Games wasn't. I disagree. The Black Slim Shady was an actual diss. What do you mean by that, bro? Rap Devil was a more typical song, being 3.5 minutes or whatever. Oh. Blackheart says MGK and Gucci Man had a decent response to me. Neighborhood says they all trash. 1911 Beat says Rap Devil was better. Hold onto your butts says the title of the track was better than the actual track. Interesting take. What up, Tony Jones? What's popping? Let me know what city and state you're tapping in from, bro. Salute. Wisconsin. Wisconsin's in the building today. Definitely appreciate you, man. Reese says MGK is hella better than The Game. His shit was trash. The album. Hell yeah. Salute to Fresno. Salute to Fresno. Let me know if anybody needs to book Mikey T, the movie star in Fresno. Yep, The Game's album. His worst album sales, they're saying, first week ever. 19,000. Actually, my guy Berg actually predicted that it would do 17,000 first week. I was thinking, you guys, I was honestly thinking 35,000. That's what I was thinking, to be 100% real with you, man. Let me check out what the votes are looking like. So we got 34 votes. So I need everybody in here to vote right now. Which was the better Eminem diss track? We have Rap Devil by Machine Gun Kelly, and we have the Black Slim Shady by The Game. If you're watching this video on demand, make sure you vote in the comment section. Let me know which dish you thought was better. I definitely appreciate everybody for tapping in today for this early live video. That's right. I wanted to go live for you guys early. Tomorrow night, I will be back at the typical time of 10:30. You know what I'm saying? So make sure you're here Saturday night, 10:30 p.m. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell. Hit the notification bell, you guys, so you don't miss my live videos. Yep. So you don't miss my live videos. And also hit the pinned Instagram and make sure you shoot me a follow on Instagram. But it's looking like Rap Devil has beat the Black Slim Shady, which is crazy to me. I'm going to end that. Everybody else can actually vote. Y'all can vote in the comment section. Y'all can vote in the comment section. Drop all your comments that you want to drop or what you thought about today's video. You can also drop comments about topics that you would like me to speak on. You know what I'm saying? Yep. 1992 sold 35K first week. Yeah, that was actually a good album. I was messing with his 1992 album. I didn't get to hear Born to Rap though. So I didn't get to hear the Game's last album, but I will be listening to Drillmatic in full, possibly doing a review. You know what I mean? I'll possibly do a review. I know he's got some crazy features on that, but it's just crazy that he had to take off the biggest feature, NBA Youngboy. You know what I mean? Something he should have been able to handle, you know, something that would have put him in front of all of our faces once again, just like he did with Kanye West. So it really would have been a perfect setup. But I appreciate y'all for following me, man. I definitely appreciate y'all for following me on Instagram. You can hit the link. It's pinned up. I'm going to end the poll. I ended the poll. And I'm going to tell y'all, make sure you tune in tomorrow night, 10:30 p.m. That's right. I'll see y'all back on the live then.